Okay, hello guys, welcome back. Today I am going to teach the Italian game, the ideas, traps, and theory. Let's go. So with white, you play e4, e5, knight f3, attacking the pawn in the center, and they play knight c6, defending it, and you go bishop c4, the Italian game. You put your bishop on this diagonal, and here black has a few options. Black can play knight f6, black can play bishop c5, and black can play d6. So if they play knight f6, we have the fried liver attack with knight g5, the fried liver attack attacking the f7 pawn with the knight and with the bishop. The only way to save the pawn is going d5. If they don't defend it and maybe just go h6, you just take it and fork the rook and the queen, and after the queen moves you will just win a piece. So after d5, blocking your bishop, attacking it, you take the pawn, and now his knight is under attack, and he has three moves, taking and going here and going here. If they take, you can sack the knight, and after king takes, you go queen f3 check, giving a double attack on the king and the knight. If they just go back, you just take it, and if they go king e6, you can play knight c3. This knight is pinned to the king. Now you're putting even more pressure on it. If they play knight e7, you play d4, they take, and you play bishop f4, and they take, and you castle, long castle, you long castle, and they take this pawn, and you go king b1, and whatever they play, for example just c6 is the top engine move, you go rook h e1, the king goes here, and you give a discover check. If the king goes this way, you can do this, if there's no more moves, like for example if king f5, like just give a check, the king like maybe goes here, and it just leads to a big attack. You don't have to play these moves, but knight c3 is the best move, and if they play knight b5 trying to defend it and counterattack you castle. If they take, you just take the knight, and if they play c6 defending it, you play d4, they take, and you give a check with the rook, they move away, you give another check, they go like, if they take, you just take back, they go here, you can give a check, and queen f7 is made. Not that these will happen exactly like this in your games, but the idea is that just to pressure this knight and try to win it, and open the e file like this and just attack. Now what if your opponent doesn't take back and they play knight a5? Here you give a check and they go c6, you take, and here the top engine move is bishop d3, but this can be a little complicated, so I recommend bishop e2, because although bishop d3 is the top engine move, It's a little weird because you're blocking your own pawn, and bishop e2 seems a bit more natural for me. And they will kick your knight, you will go back, and you have a good position. If they play e4, you just come forward, and they have no way to attack you. If they play bishop d6, you can just save your knight. If they en passant, you just take back. Now there is one more move, knight d4. Here, don't go d6 trying to, get the fork. First kick this knight out, and here they have to go b5, where you take and take, and if they just move their knight, play d4, opening the center. If they take, castle and go rook e1. For example, if they take, you go rook e1, bishop e7, like knight takes. You have a lot of attacking ideas. If they castle, you can go maybe queen c2, attacking, like putting the queen on this diagonal, and you have a good position. And here, other than d5, there is one more move, bishop c5. Here, this is the Traxler counterattack, where if you take, they will sacrifice their bishop and give this check. But what you can do is take this pawn, and if they move their king to f8, just get the bishop back. This sacrifice doesn't work now because your pawn is still defended. And if their king goes to e7, you still come back. Now their king is even more in the center, and you have a lot of attacking ideas, and there is nothing they can do, and you are up a pawn. And after d5, the best way is knight a5, and after check we covered what if they play c6, and what if they play bishop d7. Here you could trade, but the better move is queen e2 defending, because they can't trade, because they would lose a pawn, actually, like this. So and one thing I forgot to mention is that after c6 takes, knight takes isn't really good, because your bishop stays on its active square and doesn't have to go back. And after knight a5, bishop d7, you go here, they might kick your bishop, now you take, and when they take, you just play something like knight c3 and have a better position and up a pawn. And so what if they don't play knight f6 and they play bishop c5, the Gioco Piano game? Here you could play knight c3, but the best move is c3. This move has a lot of ideas. One of them is to disallow the knight jumping forward, and the other idea is to play d4 and b4, attacking the bishop. Here, although here there are two more moves, d4 and b4. If you want me to cover them, you could comment down. I would do it. The Evans Gambit. But c3 is just the main move, and after this they could play d6 or knight f6. If they play knight f6, which is the main move, there is one more move, queen e7. No one really plays it. It's the closed variation. If they play knight f6, you could play d3 and d4, however you want. If you like to play a energetic style, you could play d4, but d4 would take a lot of time to analyze. Again, if you want, comment down, I'll analyze it. You play d3, just protecting your pawn and opening up this bishop. They will usually play h6, and you can castle, they will castle, and you always have this idea of expanding on the queen side. Now you have a lot of space. You aren't winning, you just have a lot of space and a positional advantage, but you have a good position. Another way that black can play is that they could play h6, a6, which not now, like here, or they could play a5, disallowing b4. Then you just play a4, castles, h6, h3, d6, normal moves. You put the rook on e1, put the bishop out, trade it, knight bd2, and one thing you could do is after this, you could like maybe go rook e1, and after bishop e6, trying to trade, you could go knight b to d2, and after they take, you take back with the knight, and this is a way to play. You're putting pressure. You could play d4, and you have a good position. And another thing that black could do is to play d6. Here, you could pin the knight with the bishop, but it's not really good because they will just kick your bishop out because they haven't still castled. And if you like castle and they play something like a6 and you go here, that's even worse because you have castled but he hasn't. Now h6, g5, and like they have a lot of ideas to attack. So just play h3, and play a positional game and kick this bishop. Calculate, because playing d4 is really good sometimes in these positions because it attacks the bishop and gains the space. But don't forget to have your e4 pawn protected, because sometimes they can like take and then take this pawn. And another thing is that if they play the queen e7, the closed variation, you can play d4, they take, and you take, and if they play queen takes e4, you play bishop e3, and now their bishop is under attack, so they have to move it. They give a check, you go here, and their queen is under attack, but your knight is pinned. They could play d5, but then you go bishop d3, attacking it again, and it has to go. You can castle, knight f6, rook e1, and if they take the knight and then play d5, it's just the same thing. You just castle, put the rook on e1, and you have a very active position. For example, knight f6, rook e1, castles. You have a lot of ideas to attack, a lot of discovered attacks on the queen. Maybe like if they move the queen, you can play knight e5, like for example this. Yeah. And that was the closed variation. If they play d6, you immediately play d4, because after they take, you can take back. And if they go bishop b6, you can just castle, and you have a very big center and you have a lot of space. You can play d5, e5 in the future. And when you take, they give this check. You can block with knight c3. They go knight f6. You can play d5. They can like go here maybe. Actually, they have to take, because here you have queen a4, double attack, and they have to take. You take back, and they go back as well. Now you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of space, you have a lot of active pieces, and you can castle, you can play queen d3, bishop g5, and you have a great position. And if your opponent, there are two things that they can play that are like non-traditional, and those are f5, the Russo gambit. Here you can just play d4. If they take here, you take on e5, and if they take you, you take back, and you play like queen d4, bishop f4, knight c3, and you play normally. And if it doesn't take you, for example, plays d6, you can play queen h5. And if they play d5, you can just take, and you have a better position. Sorry, you have to go queen h5. If they play g6, you go queen e5 fork. And if they play king e7, you can just get the bishop out, bishop away, and you have a great position. Here actually bishop g5 doesn't work, because knight f6. Sorry. So, and if they take this one, you can play knight g5, attacking f7. They have to defend. If they go knight h6, you can castle. If they take on e4, you can take back with the knight. And again, rook e1, queen h5, bishop g5. These are all your ideas, and you have a really better position. If they play like bishop e7, you can take, and queen h5 is just checkmate. And if they play knight e5 here in this position, you could actually sack the bishop, and after that play queen h5, which is just completely winning. They have to block, which is just mate. And so that's it. That's all you need to know for the Italian game. If there is anything that I didn't cover and you would like to know, please let me know in the comments. Bye.